Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're jumping into the Nightmare Raid to take on the Flame Boss Node. One of the most potentially resource draining fights there are, because if it's not executed perfectly, it's going to waste your energy, it's going to waste your heal kits. There is the potential to get it done in 2 attempts. I'm going to show you that today. Hopefully I can get it. I've been practicing, so hopefully we can get it. This is my live account. There are some things we need to be aware of. We're going in with the anticipation of using 2 teams, 2 attempts. Number 1, the Van Norths, then following up with the Assassins. If this isn't executed perfectly, which there is the chance it's not going to be, then you will start to see it draining resources. It's very, very painful. And there are still some abilities you cannot use because you want to save them for the Spider Queen. Using them and then going into the Spider Queen without the abilities needed for her, again, it's going to waste a lot of resources. This raid is all about resource management and trying to get these fights done as effectively as possible. So, to do the best you possibly can against Flame, there are some things you need. Number 1, your Ulfrin. It needs to be as strong as humanly possible. I've taken mine to Gear 14 because it's going to help me with this fight. That is the only reason I took him to Gear 14, so it helps me with this fight. In terms of this fight, however, this is the team we're using. We're not using Raymond, we're using this team. There is one ability I believe is absolutely necessary to awaken, and that is Gerda's passive. This is going to apply the slowdown at the start of the battle, which is going to allow us to get the setup we need to execute the first part of the fight, which is we're trying to kill all the enemies except for Flame in one go. So that is number 1. We're going to wait for the server. Come on. Anyway, that's it. We go in, we get the slowdown, and that's going to allow us to set up. The second ability you probably do need, when I said 1, I actually meant 2. We need the Bloody Fury. Now, attack damage is increased by 10%, has a 50% chance to stun targets for 2 turns. Stun targets cannot. It doesn't matter about that. It's the 10%. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for this fight, it could mean the difference between you spending a tremendous amount of heal kits and not using any at all. So keep that in mind. So that's all that's really needed. You don't need to worry about the Van North mark for this. Not needed. It's not going to help you in this fight at all. So that's number 1. We need to make sure we're going in with Gerda. Number 2, you go in with the Assassins. I'm not going to put them on the screen, but Assassins, pretty simple. You don't really need any awakenings for the fight. Captain John has the execute. You are not using it. We'll explain that when we get to it though. So let's jump in with the Van North and we'll show you the first part of the fight. So jumping in, you are going to be up against the Flame and 4 dark enemies. 2 Succubus and 2 Balthazar, I believe it is. Yep, there we go. We're going to take it down to a 2x speed. Now, the dangerous part of this fight is Flame's passive, I believe it is. Every time a dark enemy dies, she will do a meteor strike that, because she's a boss, is going to one-shot your team. So we need to figure out how we can kill this wave before she does that. So we are going to use AoE, and we're going to only use AoE, and we're going to use our basics to mitigate any characters that are not being sufficiently damaged. Now, our Starvolt is up. We're only going to use our basic, and we're going to go on the Succubus because she has the most HP. Double hit. Honestly, that's not good. That's not good for us. We need to use our Grotto's basic. We're not using his third because, again, we need that for the Spider Boss. We are going to go ahead and use Blinding Snow now. Now, you're going to see that slowdown is huge. We're getting multiple attacks before they get any. We're going to go ahead and use our basic with our Halus on the character with the highest HP. Again, with our Gerda, we're going to go ahead and attack the character with the highest HP. And we really do not want that Succubus to die. Okay, beautiful. I believe I have set this up pretty well. That Succubus is a bit scary, but we are going to use our third ability now. Now, if you get to a point where you have a basic ability that you want to use and you're afraid it's going to kill someone, then all you need to do, perfect example, I really don't want to use my basic here. If it double triggers, there's a potential it could kill someone. You saw how much damage it did to the Succubus, so I'm just going to waste it against the Flame. There we go. And now our Ulfrin comes up and we're looking to kill all these characters in one shot. We're hoping we get it. We do, and our team gets wiped. We've killed all 4 of the enemies, and we only have to take 1 fire, meteor strike, whatever you want to call it, from Flame. The issue is if you do not kill all those enemies, you now have to come back in, and when you kill one of those enemies that remain, she's going to meteor strike again and completely waste your team. So, doing it in one shot, yes, we lose all our heroes, but we only lose them once. So now we can go in with the assassins, and I'll show you what you need to do with them. So we are jumping in with the assassins now. Now, with the assassins, I don't know if it's different for every person. I don't know if it depends on level or arcane stars or whatever. I know that Flame is going to attack my Ashe first, so I'm not going to use my parry on my Yuki. I'm just going to use my regular abilities. So we don't care if she uses... Yeah, there you go. She attacks Ashe. That's fine. That's what we want. And we're just going to keep using our basic attacks. The only ability we really do not want to use is our Captain John's Execute. She goes for the Ashe again. He's still alive. That's good. He most likely will get killed the next shot. We cannot mind control her, so I'm not using my Claudia Toxic's third ability. We're just using her basic. And we're just going to keep basic. There we go. We lose the Ashe. That's fine. She's still got pretty decent HP left, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and use our basic again. We're going to go ahead and parry now. Now, I believe if I parry, she'll attack someone else. Nope, she went for the Yuki. Perfect. Again, I am not going to use my Execute. If I use Execute, I do not have it for the Spider Queen, and I need it for the Spider Queen more than I need it for Flame. So we're going to go ahead, and we should just be able to finish her off here. I'm going to go for the bang. There we go. 2 shots. We're not going to use many heal kits. We will use some, but it's a lot better than having to use potentially them 3, 4, 5 times trying to res because we're killing one character at a time. The trick to the fight is ensuring that you're going to kill every single one of those enemies at the front in one go. If you don't believe your Ulfrin is strong enough, it would even be worth sending someone in with a strong Ulfrin to get that kill on them all, and then you can go in with your assassins. There's nothing special about my assassins at all. I believe Demetria and Yuki are gear 12, the rest are gear 13. They've got no awakenings on them at all. The only real, I guess, strength of them is they're all 7 arcane stars. So yeah, people will look at the characters in the game and wonder, is it worth putting arcane stars into them? In the assassins, I believe so, simply because they still don't have their boss blade. We all know he's coming out, so I believe there is going to be a lot of strength that comes to this faction, so putting arcane stars isn't a huge waste, so just keep that in mind. But there you go, that's how you take out Flame as effectively as possible. I said maybe the gear 15 assassins can get it done in one shot because they take 70% less damage, so when Flame does her meteor, it's not going to kill everyone, but I don't even want to try it. I'm happy with this setup, getting it done in 2 turns, and I've given the information to my clan members, and it has tremendously helped them with this fight as well. So, yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability. And wherever you're around the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.